blood on his knuckles, a broken glass of wine, and a single woman's shoe left behind in the CEO's office. That's how it all began, the night billionaire Hon Ji-won's life turned upside down. Ji-won, the coldest and richest CEO in Korea, was furious after losing $1 billion deal. He screamed at everyone, including the cleaners. Most of them ran out, but one woman stayed. Her name was Amelia, a Nigerian cleaner fighting hard to pay her younger brother's school fees. She looked at him without fear and said, "You don't scare me." Those words shook Ji-won more than any business failure. Hours later, anger and loneliness pushed them into something dangerous, a one-night stand that should never have happened. By morning, Amelia was gone, leaving behind only her shoe. Ji-won picked it up, confused. Why did this cleaner, of all people, make his heart beat so fast? But before Ji-won could figure out his feelings, his powerful family announced his engagement to Kang So-ae, a rich heiress he didn't love. The media called them the perfect couple. Yet, while the world cheered, Ji-won kept thinking about Amelia. That night, at his engagement party, as So-ae clung to his arm, Ji-won's phone buzzed. A message flashed across the screen. It was from an unknown number. The text read, "We need to talk. It's about the night we shared." What shocking truth is Amelia about to reveal? The billionaire froze. The party music was loud, cameras flashed, and his fiancée held his hand tightly. But Ji-won couldn't take his eyes off the message glowing on his phone. "We need to talk. It's about the night we shared." His heart pounded. Only one person could have sent that, Amelia. Later that night, Ji-won sneaked away from the celebration. He drove to the address Amelia sent. It was a small, poor apartment in the city. The moment he walked in, he saw her sitting by the window, her face pale but her eyes still bold. "Why did you call me here?" Ji-won asked coldly, trying to hide his shaking hands. Amelia stood, clutching a small envelope. Her voice trembled. "I didn't want this either, but you have to know. I'm pregnant." The words hit Ji-won like a knife. The room spun. A billionaire CEO, about to have a child with a cleaner. It was unthinkable. Ji-won staggered back, whispering, "This can't be true." But Amelia pushed the envelope into his hand. Inside was a medical report. His legs weakened. His empire, his family, his engagement, all of it could be destroyed if the truth came out. Yet, as he looked into Amelia's teary eyes, he knew she wasn't lying. "What do you want from me?" he demanded. Amelia's answer shocked him even more. She whispered, "Nothing. I raised this baby alone, as if you never existed." Would Ji-won let her walk away, or will he do something that shocks everyone? The words, "I raised this baby alone," echoed in Ji-won's head like thunder. A child. With him. And the mother was a cleaner who had nothing to her name. His empire, his family name, and even his engagement to Kang So-ae were all at risk. Ji-won's pride screamed for him to walk away. But when Amelia turned to leave, something inside him snapped. "Wait." Ji-won's voice cracked, louder than he intended. Amelia froze, her shoulders stiff. He took a deep breath, his cold mask slipping for the first time. "You can't just raise this child alone. This baby is mine too." Amelia turned slowly, her eyes wet but blazing with anger. "And what do you plan to do, Mr. CEO? Hide us like trash so your rich friends don't laugh at you?" The sting of her words cut deep. For once, the arrogant CEO had no reply. Silence hung heavy until Ji-won said something that shocked even himself. "Marry me." Amelia gasped, stepping back as if he had slapped her. "Marry you? Do you even hear yourself? You're engaged. Your family would never allow it. And I will not be anyone's dirty secret." But Ji-won's eyes were sharp with determination. "It won't be a secret. If we marry, no one can touch you. No one can insult our child. It's the only way." Amelia's heart pounded. She wanted to laugh, but tears rolled down instead. This was madness. How could a billionaire CEO, already tied to a powerful heiress, throw away everything for her? Yet, when she looked into his eyes, she saw desperation, and maybe something more. But just as Amelia was about to answer, a knock on the door shattered the moment. Ji-won stiffened. Amelia's blood ran cold. The door creaked open, and standing there was Kong Soare, his fiancée, her eyes burning with suspicion. Did Soare overhear everything? And what will she do if she finds out Amelia carries Ji-won's child? The air turned heavy as Kong Soare stepped into the small apartment. Her eyes scanned the tiny room with disgust before landing on Amelia. The sight of a Nigerian cleaner standing beside her billionaire fiancé sent fire through her veins. Ji-won, she said slowly, her voice sharp like glass, what are you doing here? And who is she? Ji-won's jaw tightened. He had faced ruthless businessmen, government leaders, and billion-dollar lawsuits, but nothing terrified him more than Soare's suspicious gaze. She's a staff member, he lied quickly. But Amelia's fist clenched. She wasn't going to let him insult her like that. Before Ji-won could stop her, Amelia stepped forward. No. Tell her the truth. Soare's eyes narrowed. The truth. She looked between them, noticing the tension, the fear, the unspoken connection. Her lips curved into a cruel smile. Don't tell me you lowered yourself to touch this woman. The insult cut deep, but Amelia stood tall, refusing to break. Ji-won's chest tightened. He could feel the walls closing in. If Soare discovered Amelia's pregnancy, everything would explode. He grabbed Amelia's wrist and pulled her close. Enough, Soare. She's important to me. The words shocked both women. Amelia's eyes widened. Soare's smile vanished, replaced with fury. Important. You must be joking. She's nothing but a cleaner. And you, she jabbed her finger at Ji-won's chest, trembling with rage. You belong to me. Our families already announced the engagement. Do you know what will happen if the press finds out about this woman? Ji-won's voice hardened. Then let them find out. I don't care. Amelia gasped at his words. Was he really willing to destroy his empire for her? But Soare wasn't done. She leaned close, her voice a whisper filled with venom. If you dare humiliate me, Ji-won, I'll destroy her. I'll make sure this cleaner disappears from Korea, and no one will remember her name. Before Amelia could react, Soare stormed out, slamming the door. Silence filled the room. Ji-won turned to Amelia, his chest rising and falling. We don't have time, he said firmly. We are getting married. Tomorrow. Can a billionaire CEO really marry a poor cleaner overnight? Or will Soare strike first and ruin everything? The next morning, Seoul City Hall was buzzing with whispers. Reporters gathered outside, flashing cameras. Nobody could believe the headline spreading like wildfire. Billionaire CEO Hon Ji-won marries a Nigerian cleaner. Inside, Amelia stood nervously in a simple white dress she borrowed from a neighbor. She couldn't believe this was happening. Just yesterday, she was scrubbing office floors, and now she was standing beside the richest man in Korea. Her hands shook, her heart raced. Ji-won, dressed in his perfect suit, whispered, "Don't be afraid. I'm here." Those words were gentle, almost human, and for the first time, Amelia saw something different in his cold eyes, softness. The judge read the vows, and Amelia's voice trembled as she said, "I do." When Ji-won repeated the same words, the reporters outside went wild. Everyone in Korea was shocked. How could a man with billions, power, and an heiress fiancée marry a poor black cleaner? The scandal exploded. As they left City Hall, Amelia expected Ji-won to keep his distance, but instead, he took her hand and held it tightly in front of the flashing cameras. From today, he announced loudly, "This woman is my wife." Amelia's heart skipped. For a man who once looked at her like she was invisible, those words felt unreal. Later that night, in Ji-won's luxurious mansion, Amelia walked through halls bigger than her entire apartment. She felt out of place, like a bird trapped in a golden cage. But when she saw Ji-won waiting at the dining table, 2 plates served, she froze. He had never eaten with anyone before. "Sit," he said softly. Amelia sat down, nervous. To her surprise, Ji-won placed food on her plate himself. "You're my wife now," he said, looking into her eyes. "You deserve respect." Amelia's chest warmed. For the first time, she saw a man behind the billionaire mask, someone lonely, someone trying. But just as her heart softened, Ji-won's phone rang. His face darkened as he answered. On the other end was Soare's cold voice, "Enjoy your dinner, Ji-won." because by tomorrow, your precious cleaner will be ruined. What evil plan is Soare preparing to destroy Amelia? The morning sun poured into Jiwon's mansion, but peace didn't last long. Newspapers splashed headlines, CEO marries black cleaner, empire at risk. Social media exploded with insults. Some mocked Amelia's skin, others called her a gold digger. Amelia scrolled through the comments with shaking hands. Tears burned her eyes. Maybe I made a mistake, she whispered. Jiwon walked in, snatched the phone from her hands, and threw it on the couch. His voice was sharp, but his eyes were gentle. Don't read that trash. Let them talk. From now on, you walk with your head high. You're my wife? His words were firm, protective, a side Amelia never thought she'd see. Slowly, her tears dried. That afternoon, Jiwon surprised her. Instead of business meetings, he drove her out of the city to a quiet park. Amelia laughed nervously as they sat by a small lake. Why are you doing this? She asked. Jiwon looked at her carefully. Because for once in my life, I want to feel real. Not perfect. Not powerful. Just human. Amelia's heart softened. She told him about her struggles, leaving Nigeria, cleaning offices at night, sacrificing everything for her brother's school fees. Jiwon listened quietly, his cold mask gone. For the first time, Amelia saw loneliness in his eyes, the kind that billions of dollars could never cure. When he reached out and brushed away a tear from her cheek, her chest fluttered. For a moment, the world disappeared, it was just the billionaire and the cleaner, hearts slowly drawing closer. But sweetness never lasted long. As they laughed together, Jiwon's phone buzzed. A photo appeared on the screen, Amelia's brother being dragged into a black van by strange men. The caption below made Jiwon's blood freeze. If you want him back, tell your wife to disappear. Soare. Would Jiwon risk everything to save Amelia's brother, or will Amelia sacrifice herself to protect her family? Amelia's hands trembled as she stared at the photo of her brother being dragged into the black van. Her heart pounded so loudly she could barely breathe. Joshua, she whispered, tears filling her eyes. She turned to Jiwon, her voice breaking. It's my brother. Soare has him. Jiwon's face darkened. His fist clenched so hard his knuckles turned white. That witch, he muttered. Without thinking, he grabbed his phone to call security. But Amelia snatched it from his hand. No, Jiwon. If you fight her, she'll hurt him. My brother is all I have. Her voice cracked with fear. Jiwon cupped her face gently. And you're all I have now. Do you think I let her win? His eyes burned with determination, but Amelia's heart twisted. She remembered Soare's threat, disappear, or your brother pays the price. Amelia knew Soare wasn't bluffing. That night, Amelia made a painful decision. While Jiwon fell asleep in his study, she packed a small bag and wrote a note, I can't risk my brother's life. Don't look for me. Her tears fell on the paper as she placed it on his desk. Quietly, she slipped out of the mansion into the cold night, her heart breaking with every step. Hours later, Jiwon woke and saw the note. His chest tightened, his vision blurred with rage. No, he roared, slamming his fist on the desk. He rushed to the security cameras and saw Amelia living alone. His heart cracked, but his anger burned hotter than ever. Soare thinks she can steal my wife and her brother. She has no idea who she's fighting with. Meanwhile, Amelia stood outside a lonely warehouse where Soare's men told her to come. She shouted into the darkness, I'm here. Let my brother go. From the shadows, Soare appeared, her lips curling into a cruel smile. Finally, the cleaner knows her place, she hissed. Amelia's heart pounded as Joshua was dragged forward, tied up and crying. But before Soare could speak again, headlights flashed. A black car screeched to a stop, and the door swung open. Jiwon stepped out, his eyes blazing like fire. Has Jiwon just walked into Soare's trap, or will he finally show the power of a billionaire in love? The warehouse door slammed shut behind Jiwon as he stepped into the darkness. His sharp suit gleamed under the dim light, but his eyes burned with fury. Amelia's heart pounded. Jiwon, you shouldn't have come, she cried, holding Joshua close. But Jiwon's gaze never left Soare. Soare clapped slowly, her smile dripping with venom. Look at you, Jiwon. Korea's richest man, crawling into a dirty warehouse for a cleaner and her brother. How pathetic. Her men circled around him, their fists clenched. Let's see how much your billions can protect you tonight. Amelia gasped as one of the thugs charged forward. But Ji-won moved faster. With a swift kick, he sent the man crashing to the floor. Another swung a metal pipe, but Ji-won ducked and punched him so hard blood sprayed. Amelia's jaw dropped. The cold CEO wasn't just powerful in boardrooms, he could fight too. Still, there were too many. One man grabbed Amelia by the arm, yanking her back. Let her go. Ji-won roared, smashing the thug against the wall. Joshua sobbed, terrified, as chaos filled the room. Finally, Soare raised her hand. Enough, she screamed. The men froze. Her eyes blazed with hate. Ji-won, if you choose this woman, you choose war. I will ruin your company, your family, and everything you own. Ji-won's chest rose and fell as he wiped blood from his lip. He walked straight to Amelia, pulled her and Joshua behind him, and looked Soare dead in the eyes. His voice was steady, cold, and powerful. Then let the war begin. Because I'd rather lose everything than lose her. Amelia's heart thudded. No man had ever defended her like this. In that moment, she realized the billionaire who once terrified her was now the man willing to fight the whole world for her love. But Soare only smiled, her voice dripping with poison. Then you've already lost. She tossed the folder on the ground. Inside were photos of Amelia, with Joshua, at her old cleaning jobs, even outside Ji-won's mansion. Tomorrow morning, these go to every news outlet. By sunrise, the world will destroy her before I even lift a finger. Can Ji-won protect Amelia from Korea's cruel society, or will Soare's plan shatter their fragile love before it even begins? The next morning, Seoul woke up to chaos. Amelia's face was plastered across every newspaper, gossip blog, and TV channel. Billionaire CEO's secret lover, a Nigerian cleaner pregnant with his child. The headlines screamed louder than thunder. At Ji-won's headquarters, reporters crowded the gates, shoving microphones in his face. Mr. Kong, is it true? Did you cheat on Soare with your cleaner? Is she carrying your baby? The cameras flashed so bright Ji-won's bodyguards had to shield him. But he said nothing. He couldn't, not yet. Meanwhile, Amelia couldn't step outside without cruel stares piercing her skin. On the bus, whispers followed her. Is that her? The shameless foreign girl who trapped the CEO. Some spat at her feet. Others laughed. A group of women even shouted, "Go back to your country." Her hands trembled as she clutched her stomach. The world that once ignored her was now burning her alive. At night, she sat by the window, tears streaming. Joshua hugged her tightly. Don't cry, sister. You're not alone. But Amelia's heart shattered. For the first time, she regretted ever meeting Ji-won. Was love worth this pain? Suddenly, a knock shook the door. Amelia's breath caught. When she opened it, Ji-won stood there, his suit wrinkled, his eyes heavy with exhaustion. Without a word, he stepped inside, grabbed her trembling hands, and said, "Amelia, I failed you. I should have protected you." Her voice cracked. "Look at me, Ji-won. They hate me. They hate our baby. How can we survive this?" Ji-won's jaw tightened. His eyes blazed with determination. "Then let them hate. Tomorrow, I will hold a press conference. I will tell the whole world the truth, that I love you, that this child is mine, and that no one can shame us." Amelia gasped, fear and hope colliding in her chest. "If you do this, Ji-won, you'll lose everything." He pulled her close, whispering fiercely, "What's the point of billions, if I can't protect the only woman I love?" Would Ji-won's public confession save Amelia, or will it destroy both of them forever? The press conference hall was packed with reporters, cameras flashing like lightning. Everyone wanted one thing, to hear the billionaire CEO speak. Ji-won walked onto the stage in his black suit, his face calm but his heart racing. Amelia sat hidden in a private room, holding Joshua's hand, trembling as she watched the broadcast on TV. "Mr. Kong Ji-won," a reporter shouted, "is it true you betrayed your fiancée, Soare, with a foreign cleaner?" Another voice cut in, "Are you really going to claim a baby with her?" The crowd buzzed like angry bees. Ji-won took a deep breath, grabbed the microphone, and looked straight into the cameras. His voice was steady but filled with fire. Yes. It's true. Amelia is not just a cleaner to me. She is the woman I love. And the child she carries is mine. The hall erupted. Reporters screamed, flashes blinded him, and the news went live across Korea. In the private room, Amelia's tears spilled as she whispered, "He did it, he really said it." Joshua hugged her, smiling through his fear. But not everyone was smiling. At the back of the hall, Soari stood with her father, the chairman of one of Korea's biggest companies. Her face was twisted with rage. "He's finished," she hissed. Her father nodded coldly. "Pull out all investments. By tomorrow, Kong Ji-won will be nothing." Back on stage, Ji-won raised his hand to silence the chaos. "I know many of you will judge me. I know society will not accept Amelia easily. But love is not about wealth, race, or status. It's about sacrifice. And I will sacrifice everything to stand by her." The hall fell silent for a moment, shocked by his boldness. Then, a reporter shouted, "Mr. Kong, do you realize this could cost you your empire?" Ji-won's lips curved into a small, fearless smile. "Then let my empire fall. I'd rather lose my crown than lose my queen." The cameras zoomed in, broadcasting his words across the nation. Amelia's heart thundered. But outside the building, angry protesters were already gathering, chanting her name with venom. Would Ji-won's bold confession protect Amelia, or has he just dragged her into a storm she cannot survive? The world exploded after Ji-won's confession. Overnight, Kong Corporation's stock price crashed like a broken glass. Investors pulled out billions. The media replayed his words non-stop. "I'd rather lose my crown than lose my queen." Some called it romantic, but most called it madness. Outside Amelia's apartment, angry crowds gathered. They held banners that read, "Gold digger out," and "Shame on the CEO." Stones were thrown at her windows, and hateful graffiti covered her door. Amelia held Joshua tightly, her tears wetting his shirt. "I can't take this anymore, Ji-won," she whispered. "Your world is burning, and it's all because of me." Ji-won wrapped his arms around her trembling body, his voice low but fierce. "Don't you dare blame yourself. This is not your fault. They hate what they don't understand. But I will never hate you." His words were steady, but his eyes showed the weight of the empire he was losing. That night, Amelia switched on the TV, only to see Soari on every channel. Her perfect face smiled sweetly as she declared, "I pity Ji-won. He has been manipulated by a foreign woman who only wants his money. But I promise Korea, I will protect our business community from this shame." The audience clapped. Lies spread like wildfire. Amelia's chest tightened. "She's destroying you, Ji-won. Maybe I should just leave. If I go back to Nigeria, you can rebuild your life." Ji-won grabbed her shoulders, his voice breaking. "Don't you dare say that. Amelia, listen to me. Money can be rebuilt, empires can be rebuilt, but if I lose you, there is nothing left of me." For the first time, Amelia saw the billionaire CEO cry. His tears slid down his strong face as he pressed a hand against his heart. "Stay with me. Even if the whole world turns against us. Please." Amelia's lips trembled. She wanted to believe him, but outside, the angry chants grew louder, the words hatred pressing in like fire. Will Amelia stay by Ji-won's side and face the storm, or will fear force her to walk away from the man who risked everything for love? The night was heavy, the sound of angry protesters echoing through the streets like thunder. Amelia sat by the window, tears streaming down her cheeks as Joshua held her hand. Inside, Ji-won stood silently, staring out at the city skyline he once ruled. The man who had been untouchable, Korea's most powerful billionaire, was now stripped of everything. His company was collapsing, investors had abandoned him, and his name had become a scandal across the nation. But when he turned to Amelia, there was no fear in his eyes, only love. Slowly, Ji-won walked to her, knelt down, and held her trembling hands. His voice was soft, but it carried the weight of his soul. "Amelia," he whispered, "I can rebuild my empire. I can rise again. But if you walk away from me tonight, I'll never rebuild my heart." Her chest tightened. She thought of Joshua, of their unborn child, and of the cruelty she had faced in the streets. Ji-won, she sobbed, are you really sure? Loving me may mean losing everything forever. Ji-won pulled her hand to his chest, his heart beat strong and steady. Then let the world take everything. As long as I have this heartbeat with you, I am still the richest man alive. Amelia broke down, tears falling freely. For the first time since the scandal erupted, she felt peace. Resting her forehead against his, she whispered, then I won't leave. I'll stand with you. No matter what. Just then, the door burst open. Joshua came running in, his face lit with excitement. Sister. Ji-won. Look at this. He waved his phone. A viral video was spreading like wildfire across Korea. It showed Soori screaming at her father in a hidden recording, admitting she leaked the scandal to destroy Ji-won out of jealousy. The internet was on fire, but this time, the anger wasn't at Amelia. It was at Soori. By morning, the crowd outside Amelia's apartment had changed. The hateful chants were gone. Supporters now held up signs, love wins, and we stand with Ji-won and Amelia. The same people who had mocked them were now cheering their courage. Ji-won pulled Amelia and Joshua close, his voice steady and proud. See. Love always wins in the end. This is our new beginning. Amelia smiled through her tears. Against all odds, the billionaire CEO and the Nigerian cleaner had not only fought the world but also defeated it. Their love had turned into a testimony that true love is not about money, power, or race, but about sacrifice, loyalty, and courage. Moral of the story, love knows no boundaries, not race, not status, not wealth. When two people are willing to stand together, even the fiercest storm cannot tear them apart. True love is not about what you have, but what you are willing to give up for the one you love. Do you think Amelia did the right thing by staying with Ji-won, even when the whole world was against her? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories.